Okay, the next thing is tashahhud. Tashahhud, which is a wajib. So tashahhud means bearing witness. And it means that you say 3 sentences which are as follows. So before I come to the sentences, let me describe that when you do the first sajda, we are done with the discussion of sajda and prostration. After you do the sajda in the salat and the second rak'at, and likewise in the third rak'at if you are praying a maghrib prayers. So this is wajib in every second rak'at plus. You did tashahhud? Are you? Oh, why am I doing that then?
So we covered the tashahhud and we covered that it's mustahab to look at the sajda.
Okay. Now let me just, if we did, then I'll mention some of the du'as which are remaining.
We did.
Yeah. Okay. If we did the tashahhud, then.
We basically did the 3 sentences.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the last.
That's in the third rak'at of maghrib. And the fourth rak'at of Zuhr, Asr, and Isha prayers. That's when we do the tashahhud. So we sit down after the second sajda and we read the 3 sentences. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah. وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. This is what is wajib to say these 3 sentences. Each of these 3 is wajib in the same tartib and sequence. Now when you it's mustahab, so we did the sentences, and like you said, we already studied that, so I will not repeat it. And so when we sit, after sitting from sajda, say takbir. Takbir means Allahu Akbar. We say takbir once, and then it's mustahab to say after the takbir, it is mustahab to say, either you say Alhamdulillah, or you say Bismillah wa billah, Bismillah wa billah walhamdulillah. Wa khayril asma'i lillah. Alaykum assalam. Khayril asma'i lillah. Or there's a third option also to add further more in this dua, and that is same thing. Let me write it. So you either say the first after takbir, or the second zikr, or the third we add further few words in it. Bismillah wa billah walhamdulillah wa khayril asma'i lillah. Or you say Bismillah wa billah walhamdulillah wa khayril asma'il husna kulliha lillah. So these are the three, one of the three things say, it is mustahab, one of the three things, so you have to say one of the three if you want to get the thawab. This is what we say, it's mustahab to say after you say the takbir. When you raise your head from sajda and you sit, you say the takbir. You say the takbir when you are stable, sitting in a stable situation, body should not be moving. Istiqrar al-badan, like we discussed already in the previous lessons. So your body should be stationary, unmoving. When you settle down, body is not moving, then you say Allahu Akbar, raise your head. Again, raising your hand is mustahab, a separate mustahab. Allahu Akbar is also a mustahab. This takbir is not wajib, but it's mustahab and recommended. So you say Allahu Akbar without moving your body. Your hand can move without your chest and the body. Then you say either Alhamdulillah or this second zikr, Bismillah wa billahi wa alhamdulillah wa khayril asma'i lillah. Or the third one, Bismillah wa billahi wa alhamdulillah wa khayril asma'il husna kulliha lillah. So these are the three things that one of the three things that we decide and say. Then you start reading those three sentences which are wajib to say in tashahhud. After one of these three du'as, choice is yours. Then you come to the wajib. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. These are the three sentences. Takbir is also mustahab. All the takbirs are mustahab in the salat other than the first one, takbiratul ihram. So then you say the three wajib sentences, and when you say the third wajib sentence, which is salawat over the Prophet and his family, after the salawat on the Prophet and his family, it is mustahab to say Okay, let me keep that for those of you who join later. You can read it. So, then after the 3 wajib sentences, you say, and you know the 3rd wajib is the salawat on the Prophet. So basically after the salawat on the Prophet we say وَتَقَبَّلْ شَفَاعَتَهُ وَتَقَبَّلْ شَفَاعَتَهُ في أمته وارفع درجته. This is a sentence which is mustahab and recommended to be said after the salawat on the Prophet. وَتَقَبَّلْ شَفَاعَتَهُ, and accept his shafa'at, intercession, fi ummatihi, in his nation. So we are seeking this dua from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. After we send salawat on the Prophet and his family, we are asking Allah, seeking this dua, that you accept his shafa'at and intercession in his ummat, warfa darajata, and raise his level. So and obviously Allah is always going to accept the shafa'at of the Prophet, and who else intercession and shafa'at is accepted is Prophet's shafa'at is not accepted. So obviously that's a done deal. We all know that his shafa'at is the top of all the shafa'at. And obviously he's the most superior human and the highest messenger, so his shafa'at is obviously accepted. Allah is definitely going to accept his shafa'at about the nation of the Prophet and raise his level further and further higher. Why are we seeking that dua? We become in sync with the irada and the mashiyat and the will of Allah. When you do a dua which is in sync with the wisdom and the will of Allah, this is where you are, heading in the right direction. This is how we learn to make ourselves in sync with the will of Allah. Obviously we do it qurbatan ilallah because Allah has commanded, but I'm just saying that one of the wisdoms, maybe ihtimalan, is this, that when something is already confirmed, when we follow the same, then we are making ourselves in sync with his will and wisdom. Definitely saying the wajib sentences in the tashahhud should be in the correct Arabic tajweed. If somebody doesn't know, he must learn it. Otherwise, his salat is batil. If he's able to learn the correct Arabic pronunciation, but he did not learn and said it wrongfully, the 3 wajib sentences of tashahhud, his salat will become batil. Now, the other thing to remember as we are talking, we are about to end the discussion of tashahhud. The last thing is that it's wajib to sit while doing the tashahhud. So sitting position, julus, in Arabic we say this, julus means the sitting position is wajib. It's not mustahab, it's wajib to sit and then do the tashahhud. Now you are allowed to sit howsoever, but it's mustahab to sit to do tabarruk. Tabarruk is mustahab, means the way we sit usually, dozanu. So that's the way which is mustahab to sit. let me display it so it's completely clear. You're sitting like this. Sitting like this. This is called tawarruk in Arabic. It's mustahab to join your fingers, put over your thighs. That's also another mustahab. And also it's mustahab that you put your right foot, is back, this top of the right foot over the left foot. Okay? Top of your right foot over the inner of your left foot, like this. Not top of your left foot over the right. Top of the right foot over the inner of the left foot. This is also mustahab. And if you remember, we discussed in the Ramadan lessons, I think 2-3 years ago, when we were talking about the asrar and secrets of salat. For those of you who were present, we discussed the reason why we put the right over the left. Actually, it's mustahab always, not only in the salat, always, whenever we sit 24/7, whenever we sit, the sunnat of the Prophet was he used to put his right feet over the left, not his left foot over the right. Okay? He used to put his right foot over the left. So this is mustahab and sunnat. And we discuss, for those of you who remember, you would recall that the right foot is the mazhar and reflection of haqq and Islam, and the left foot is the mazhar and reflection of batil and falsehood. Okay? So when we put the right foot over the left, what we are trying to say to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allahumma ahyi al-haqqa wa amitil batila. Ahyi al-haqqa wa amitil batila. Oh my Lord, give life to the righteousness and haqq and truth, and kill the falsehood. Batil, the falsehood. So putting the right over the left represents that we are asking Allah to give life to the righteousness and haqq and give death to the falsehood and batil, because the right hand reflects the haqq and left hand reflects the batil, and right feet reflects the haqq and left feet reflects the batil. So when you enter into the masjid, Islam says it's mustahab and recommended to enter with the right foot first. When you exit from the masjid, you exit with the left foot first. When you enter into a toilet, you enter with the left foot first. When you exit from the toilet, you enter with the right foot first. Isn't it right? So, masjid se chhod ke ja rahe hain na. हक के जरिए से एंटर होते हैं, बाहर जाते हैं तो लेफ्ट के जरिए से जाते हैं.
What are other positions that are acceptable? Is like kneeling down kind of position acceptable?
Well, there are some positions which are mentioned to be makruh. If somebody sits like this, obviously it's makruh to sit like this. It's not haram, like I said. As long as the urf says you are sitting in whatsoever position, the wajib will be done. Wajib is to sit. But at some of the position, like I showed, this one is makruh. If you sit in any other position, you will lose the mustahab. If you sit like this, like sideways, you did the wajib, but you didn't do the mustahab. Yeah, that's the one I said earlier, like this. No. This is not the way. No, that's not the way.
For kneeling down is not really considered sitting, right?
Kneeling down, no. Because sitting has to be decided by the urf. The regular intellectual people should say, you are sitting. Kneeling down, I don't think it's called, if somebody kneels down like this, I don't think he's called sitting. And nobody calls, even in English, I don't think anybody would say you are sitting like this. They'll say you are kneeling. Like they had their, traditions of people coming in front of the queen. Isn't it right? Queen holding the sword, putting on the neck of the person. They used to kneel down in front of the queen. Isn't it right? I don't know what they used to call that custom. No, knighthood. Knighthood is about giving the title of sir. But this is like putting the sword over the neck of the person queen is holding and putting the sword over the neck and he is kneeling down. So this is not called sitting.
But injury, like somebody cannot sit.
Oh, that's okay. If you cannot, then you sit howsoever you can. Try to do tawarruk to get mustahab. That special position. Otherwise, you sit. As long as you are sitting, it's okay. We're not supposed to wear a dress that blocks us from doing ibadat. We should wear dresses that allow us to do the ibadat. क्या चीज़?
अजान के बाद जो वो देते हैं इकामत, वो कितनी आवाज में देना वाजिब है?
Iqamat is not, Adhan has to be, mustahab to be recited loud. Iqamat is not mustahab to be recited loud, similar to Adhan. You can just say in a normal voice.
Whisper voice is okay?
It's okay. It's not, it's okay. But
so is it always mustahab to sit like in the world, or is it only in salat?
During the salat, yes, always. Even when we sit between the two sajdas, also is the same sitting position.
But what about if you're not praying? Is it?
No, if you're not praying, it's. I have to double check that whether it is mustahab, even if you're not praying, to sit in the tawarruk position or in any other position. But obviously, it is mustahab in Islam that Prophet used to put his right over the left. Now, tawarruk, whether he always used to do tawarruk or not, that I have to check before I say that's always the mustahab applies or not.
So when you say he always puts the right over the left, you mean in any sitting position, always put the right on the left?
Yeah, whenever he used to put a feet over the other, it was right over the left, not the left over the right. Okay, so this is now we are done with the subject of tashahhud, and now we come to taslim. So taslim also we studied.
Yes.
Okay, and taslim also we studied. I'll just go through very quickly that it is wajib to say the salam. In Farsi we say salam, in Arabic we say taslim. So taslim is wajib. How much is wajib? The first sentence is not wajib, is mustahab and recommended. The first sentence we say is Assalamu alayka ayyuhan nabiyyu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. That was mustahab, recommended. And then the next two sentences, which are Assalamu alayna wa ala ibadillahi salihin. Salam, peace be upon us and the salih, the good doing servants of his, or good doing servants of Allah. So this is the second sentence that we say. And the third sentence we say Assalamu alaikum, salam be on you, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and the peace and the mercy of Allah and his blessings. So these two sentences one of the two is wajib to say. If you say the first sentence with the niyat of wajib, then the third one is no longer wajib. It will be good to say, but it's not wajib. If you say the second sentence not with the niyat of wujub, then the third one will definitely be wajib to say. Okay? And what is wajib? Let's suppose you say the first sentence, which is mustahab, Assalamu alayka ayyuhan nabiyyu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Then you move to the second sentence with the niyat of mustahab. You say Assalamu alayna wa ala ibadillah as-salihin. And now the third one is going to be wajib. So because you did not say the second sentence with the niyat of wajib, so the third one will be wajib. Now what is wajib in the third is only Assalamu alaikum. Wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh is basically ihtiyatun mustahab, to add into it. Wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh is ihtiyatun mustahab, ahwat. The wajib amount is Assalamu alaikum. That's it. So then it's ihtiyatun mustahab. It's a recommended precaution to add wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and then you say Allahu Akbar 3 times. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. So this is how we will be done with the segment of Taslim. Yeah, looking at the right and the left with your eyes is also mustahab. You look on the right and the left, this is also mustahab.
You don't turn your head?
Yeah, you don't turn your head before the salam, but after salam, we have in our books as well that you can turn your head a little bit towards the right and a little bit towards the left after the salam. Some of the sects of Islam turn their head. Why their salat becomes batil? Because they turn their head before the third, which is wajib salam. When you turn your head before you are done with the third wajib salam, that means you are turning your head first, and then now you are saying Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So you already turned your face away from the qibla towards the right hand side, 90 degrees away intentionally. The salat became batil. And then you say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Then you turn your face intentionally to the left hand side away from the qibla, and obviously, and then you say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. So that's problematic. In our fiqh we have Shahid Asani rahmatullah alayh in Sharh al-Lum'ah, he has mentioned this. It's mustahab to to do these 2 salams and to do this looking at the 2 sides. So after the third salam. So after the third salam, basically your prayer has already ended. So now if you turn your face or you just look with your eyes, it's not problematic. It's mustahab.
There's no zikr. There's no zikr in that?
No.
So looking with the eye is after salam or during
After
salam?
salam. No. After salam. After salam.
What is the actual mustahab? Like, you finish salam, now what is mustahab to do? Show your face, move your eyes?
Yeah, it's mustahab to basically move your face a little bit and look with your eyes on the right, and move your face a little bit, look towards your eyes with the left. Not like this. We don't have like this.
Just
A little bit towards the right.
And this is 3 times takbir and this? Or
After that. After 3 times takbir. So your salat has already ended. This is just another mustahab you're doing after it.
Takbir is also mustahab.
Takbir is also mustahab.
And then, like your brother was saying, there's no mustahab thing to say when you look to the right and left.
No.
So when she says Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, the namaz is ended, you don't need to do takbir 3 times.
Yeah, if you just say Assalamu alaikum, your salat has ended. Wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh is ihtiyatun mustahab. If you don't say it, and you don't say the 3 takbir at the end, still your salat is okay.
So basically, in the order of mustahabat, should you say Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allah 3 times Allahu Akbar first, or the right left look first, or it doesn't matter?
No, after the 3 Allahu Akbar.
Then you should look right.
Who are we looking right and left after doing this? Just, is it any
That I don't know. وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وآله الطاهرين.